So JP, the executive board recently met and approved changing of the bylaws and kind of went ahead of the convention in some ways. But we needed to do that. Can you explain why the executive board did that and what's the process of why we needed to change the bylaws to hold this virtual AGM?
Oh, sure. As Elton mentioned, COVID-19 has really changed our landscape. So we're in very unusual times. So the federal government has actually issued guidelines for all federal corporations as to how they can host AGMs. And what they use is a process whereby the executive board will do something we've never done with our bylaws before. You actually have changed the bylaws in a board meeting and you enact them, which allows the changes to take effect immediately. The reason that's necessary is in order for this to host our first digital meeting, our bylaws don't allow that. So how do you bring the people into the room to vote for a digital meeting when they can't come into the room because of COVID-19? So this is just a process that the government recommends we use. So on April 23rd, the bylaw changes that allow us to now have an online convention have been made. And then as soon as we host the meeting in June, the first thing that we do is we enact those bylaws. We take the enacted bylaws and the members actually approve them. And we've created, along with this process, again, following the federal government guidelines, a number of policy documents that really explain clearly and transparently at the very start how everything's going to operate and organize so that all the churches understand how it's going to be structured so that they're really confident that the meeting will be held with excellence and that everyone can participate and vote as they would in person. But now we're just going to have to do things the way I think many of us are doing now. It's all through Zoom and online meetings.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. So we've had to make a decision ahead of the assembly or the convention, and then we're changing the bylaws. We'll go there and then we'll basically ask permission for what we've already done. And
Exactly.
Because that's the only way we could really do that in order to actually hold this meeting. Does that make sense?
Exactly.
Okay.